Mark Clattenburg is a red. Yeah, you heard me right. Welcome to your Forest News. Good morning, good evening, or good night. Hope you guys are doing well, and welcome to your latest Nottingham Forest news. In today's video, I'll explain to you everything you need to know about Mark Clattenburg and what the hell is he doing at Nottingham Forest. If you're enjoying the content, please don't forget to hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to Forest Fan TV. 40% of you who are watching are not subscribed. Let's bring that down to 35%. By hitting that subscribe button. And we are back with our good buddies from Football Prizes, where you can win your very own signed framed Danilo shirt. Just like the one I've got here in my bag. It's beautiful. Just like here, but it will have Danilo 28 signed by the Brazilian sensation as well. There are some spot prizes as well. So when you enter in, you could win yourself a signed Cooper shirt. You could win yourself an Aurier shirt. For Ant and Crypto especially, there's a signed Mangala shirt as a spot prize and a Worrell shirt. Crypto, that's all yours, bud. So make sure you go and click on the link. It's also pinned in the comments. $3.95 to enter. The draw for it will be done on Friday on Football Prizes' Facebook page. As always, let's get into this. So Clattenburg is a red. I never thought I'd be saying those words in my lifetime. But before I get into the whys and why nots, let me explain to you what's been said. Now, as we told you on Grumpy Old Reds last night, there was going to be an article released in the Mail today. And hey, there it was. So you're welcome. So let me take you through some highlight things that he said. Now, Clattenburg, on his new role at Forest, has said, I will help them in the understanding of how and why certain decisions are made. Prepare pre-match packs. Yes, you heard me. Pre-match packs on the officiating teams taking charge of their fixtures, and one of my many other aims will be to improve the relationship between the club and the PGMOL. Should be PGLOL. It really should. Okay, before I get into it, let me then tell you about what he said about the Nico Williams incident, because he carries on talking about it. And he says, I was at the City Ground on Saturday and Forest were denied a clear penalty when Maxwell Cornet clearly stood on Nico Williams' foot. And part of my pre-match pack mentioned that Thomas Bramall is a young referee still getting to grips with the Premier League, while Tim Robinson was acting as VAR for the first time this season. Thankfully, Forest went on to win regardless. Considering how much work goes into preparing for the Premier League matches, it only makes sense that clubs add to their planning and performance by ensuring they have a good understanding of how the rules are being interpreted by our referees, both on the field and in the VAR hub. Because we all know that one decision can be the difference between winning and losing. Okay, so let's break this down. What the hell is a pre-match pack? What? I don't get it. This is stupid. Look, Forest do some stupid things, right? But this just makes zero sense to me. And when I was told about it the other day, I was like, right, I'm just waiting till it comes out on paper because I want to see if I can calm down about it, because this is literally stupid. It's stupid. What can he do to influence the game? Now, if you were to tell me that he was going to be holding Nuno's hand in the dugout, and then if Forest, let's just say the Nico Williams thing happened on Saturday and Clattenburg was there, and then he goes and speaks to the fourth official and says, mate, this is me. I've seen it through your eyes before. That's a stone cold Steve Austin penalty. Send it to VAR. Then fine. That probably makes a bit of logical sense to me. But for him to give this pre-pack on the referee and then give an analysis afterwards to tell Marinakis that it was a pen, when if Marinakis wants to pay me to tell him that it's a pen, I'll happily tell him it's a pen, because I'm always going to think it's a pen. And then flip that round. So let's say he was around for Brentford at home when Turner clearly cleaned out, was it Vizor? I think it was. It might not have been him. I can't remember. And imagine Marinakis then comes up to Clattenburg in a fuming rage or whatever. And he's like, what did you think of that, mate? Was that a pen? And then Clattenburg's got to then turn around to Marinakis and say to him, you're wrong. It should have been a pen, blah, blah, blah. Is he even going to do that? Or is he going to be worried about Marinakis telling him, you don't know what you're talking about, you're sacked, get out? So like, what's the point in this? If he's going to be objective, maybe they're not going to like the answers that he gives them. If he's then going to be subjective, what's the point? There's no point in this whatsoever. Now, the only thing I'm seeing from this is that when we have to request our letter of apology from the PGMOL, when he's having to talk to Howard Webb, instead of it being someone from the club, at least it's coming from an ex-referee who can then talk about it to Howard Webb on the same level. But even then, so what? So what if he gets Howard Webb to agree that it was a pen? We're not going to be given 3 points. The game's not going to be replayed. There's no logic and no sense in any of this. I'll be honest with you. I think this is this is appointed by Marinakis because he's talked in his article about he knows Marinakis from the Greek league, etc. This to me is Marinakis annoyed and peed off about all the decisions going against Forest, and this is him reacting. That's my opinion on it. Not saying that's why it's happened. That's what it comes across to me. And I understand his frustration. You know, if I was anywhere near that ref who didn't give it, or those stupid idiots in VAR, I would have wanted to punch them in the face as well. Hypothetically speaking, of course. But Marinakis can do something about it, or he feels like he can do something about it. So he's thought, let's just get Clattenburg on. Because not only is Clattenburg an ex-referee, he's also a gladiator referee. But Clattenburg himself is a joker of a ref, in my opinion. I reckon he was on the books of Man U back in the day. Go back if you can't remember the incident, Man U against Spurs, where Nani was given a goal after what was meant to have been a penalty that wasn't given. Nani then handles the ball. The Spurs keeper, what was his face? The bold, I think it's Gomez, was it? He puts the ball down, Nani taps it in, and Clattenburg looks across to Fergie. Fergie gives him the nod. He blows for a goal. So it's not like he's a straight shooting referee either. And there's loads of incidents with him. I'm not a huge fan of him anyway. And this whole thing is just pointless. In fact, this video, just like most of my other videos, is now pointless. Nothing is going to change off the back of this. Now, let's go and talk about what some of the pundits are saying. Gary Neville, a guy I can't stand. Again, part of that brown envelope culture with Manchester United. I'm disappointed with Nottingham Forest. It's as if, look at all of this, woe is me. I get it, some teams feel as though they've been hard done by. Some teams feel like they've had a bad decision against them. That happens sometimes during a season, and I would have hated it. But to employ an ex-referee to tell you why you're having decisions against you, for me, I think is a step too far. This is not an attack on Forest fans, because some of them will probably think it's embarrassing. They won't like the decision against them, but I'm sure they won't sit there and think that was a really good move by the club. Clattenburg has also been refereeing the Gladiator show that I told you, then went on to say his stuff in the Daily Mail. And I hate to say it, and I really hate to say it, but I kind of agree with Neville. I think this is embarrassing. I don't see the point. If the club could come out and give me a logical, beneficial reason as to what will change, not why they've done it, right? They can make up whatever PR spin on why they've done it. But if they can sit here and tell us, because Clattenburg is now in, we have, what's his name? Howard Webb's balls in a vice. Yeah. And any decision will now be scrutinized. Now, if you look back to the old days, right? And I'll use the Varchester United. I'll use Arsene Wenger. I'll use Mourinho. Those kind of higher profile managers in their time. what they would do at the end of their interview would be just to kick off about the refereeing decision. Yeah. If they were right or wrong, they didn't care. Why would they do that? Because if you watch the next game following that, they would always end up, more times than not, getting themselves a dodgy penalty because they've scared the referees. Now, I'm not saying Nuno should do that. And most most managers can't do that now, because if they breathe or fart too loudly into a microphone, they get fined. So I get that. But you look at those managers, they knew they'd get a fine, but they knew they've just bought themselves a result with the next one. That makes more sense to do it, is the point I'm making here, than to hire Clattenburg. But anyway, that's just my opinion on it. What do you guys think about it? Am I making a big scene out of nothing? I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below. If you've enjoyed my mini rant and haven't already, hit that like button. Subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new. Go get yourselves your tickets for Danilo. They close on Thursday. You've only got a couple of days. Stuff like that. Framed, if you want it like mine, nice signed framed shirt. Go get that now. And if you haven't checked Grumpy Old Reds out from last night, go check it out. It was actually a really good but very long episode. We'll see you on the next video. Come on, you Reds.